like you said before the show when we were talking, they beat St. John's at their own game off the defensive boards. Every ball, it seemed like Kansas wanted to grab more. It just seemed that way. And they did. And they did. And St. John's was unraveling little by little. We were talking a little the boxing comparison. It was like St. John's had a big points lead that Kansas was cutting into, and St. John's was just hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. And eventually Kansas pulled even, and that's where it got interesting at the end of the game when Kansas tied it up, and St. John's was going to have the last shot of the game, and Kansas had a few fouls to give. That's a crazy rule they have in basketball. Oh, it's crazy that the NBA doesn't have it. In any event, you look at it, but Bill Self, the coach, he was praised for the way he was using his fouls. I saw it just the opposite way. And I think you agreed with me, like you mentioned before the show. They kept fouling St. John's when St. John's was in their own backcourt at the end of the game. St. John's wasn't going to heave a shot past midcourt, make them use time or by dribbling to the front court. Then you foul them at the appropriate time. And after using up a few of their fouls, they were allowed to give at the end of the game. Kansas, they had no extra fouls to give. Okay, and then Dylan Darling has the ball with 3.6 seconds, and he drives past the defense for a layup to win it for St. John's.